Oh my God, this is my very first time doing a speech. I'm nervous. So I was born and raised in Chongqing, China, and with two very cool, untraditional parents who never say no to any kind of skills that I requested to learn, no matter it's the piano or singing or the soccer ball. Nor do they ever criticize me if I didn't pass my math exams. And growing up, I looked up to Peter Parker from the Spider-Man, Mia Thermopolis from The Princess Diaries, and Simba from The Lion King. All of them taught me that courage is not doing something without fear, but doing something despite of fear. I came to the US alone 6 years ago to fulfill my artist dream, and today I am honored, more than honored, to be here and to share with you some of the lessons that I learned as a Chinese 20-something. So, the first one is the balance between the stone line and the plasticine. 石狮子和橡皮泥中间的平衡点. In real life, we're all like stone lines. Growing up, we learned that in order to survive in society, we have to wear certain masks in public occasions. And we learned that we have to be tough and headstrong when facing hardships. And men are taught not to cry, or else it's considered weakness. And we barely express our vulnerability to another person because it might bring rejection or judgment. But don't get me wrong, I think it's totally necessary to be a stone line. If we don't have the tough skin, then when life crushes at us, we'll just be swallowed by the waves. And I guess that explains why so many people give up on their dreams, because the road is just never peaceful. So I trained myself as a stone line for years, until 4 years ago that I got into acting, and which it requires me to be the exact opposite, to be vulnerable, to be malleable, to be transparent. And I realized that in order to be an artist, I have to be malleable like the plasticine, so I can melt myself into different shapes, or I can change myself into different colors, so I can serve the story and the world the writers create for us. And it was in acting that I started my self-discovery process. It dares me to expose my truth, my pain, my rage, my sexuality, my jealousy, my passion, and everything about me, and know that every part of me is valuable and beautiful. And even the parts that I found to be ugly are important for the art. And they all make me me and makes me human. And I fell in love with acting, and I fell in love with myself. And of course, it was definitely not easy out here on my own in New York City and trying to manage well as the stone line at the same time as the plasticine. And in the past, I have suffered from anxiety attack and depression. I've had sleepless nights where I just scroll down my phone to see if there's anybody out there I can talk to. Or I found myself crying on the train and feeling lonely and disconnected. I learned to take care of myself, my body, my mental health, my emotional health, because they're all my instruments as an artist. And the secret of it all is that it takes self-love, self-compassion, and self-discipline. And doing it 1% every day, just 1%, because ordinary things done consistently creates extraordinary results. Acting is the toughest, the most nasty business in the world, with the #1 rejection quantity. How do I face rejection on a daily basis? I walk into the audition building, and inside the room were hundreds of girls doing their makeup, doing their warm-up, and some of them even brought their suitcases with heels and costumes. We wait for hours so we can get into the room to sing 16 bars of a song, which would only last 45 seconds. And I've heard some girls say, "Oh my God, I couldn't wait any longer. This is too much. I gotta go to my daytime job. I've got rent to pay." And I also heard other girls say, "No, I'm staying here and wait. I'm not going anywhere. This is the chance for a lifetime." And both of their words made me feel overwhelmed. And I used to beat myself up so much if I didn't do as well as I expected in the audition room, if I crack a note, if I miss a line. And even if I do get a role, I might just hold on to it for dear life as if it's something so precious that nothing else would come along. And on an unconscious level, I was trying to do what I think the castings wants to see or how I'm supposed to look like. And then one day I realized that I wasn't even happy doing the things that I love, that my passion turned into this competition or this punishment, like to punish myself that I'm not good enough. And I asked myself, why would you give other people the power to define you? If my happiness is based on the outcome, then I would never be happy or satisfied, not to even mention to survive in show business for a lifetime. I felt lost, and I went back to my acting class, and that day was intense. I watched my classmate Elena. She had a breakdown and sobbing on the floor. And another classmate of mine, Seth, he went down and got her, and he held her tight in his arms. And he was trembling, but he couldn't get out a word from his mouth. But he didn't need to say anything because everything was in his eyes. I saw so much love, compassion, and humanity, and I was touched. There were two people being completely emotionally naked in front of me, and at that moment I realized this is why I do what I want to do. I want to tell stories and give other people the feelings to know that they matter, they're heard, and no matter what you're going through, you're not alone. So my relationship with the audition completely changed. I am not here to get the job. I am here to share something that I love with you, something that I'm passionate about, and something could only be expressed by me in my unique way. So I laid in my bed and with excitement, and I thought to myself, isn't it delicious that I get to sing another day? Isn't it magical that I got to play another character tomorrow? And what's even more amazing is that I've got audience. The casting directors and directors are there as my audience, and I am so lucky to do what I love as a profession. I only got 3 minutes. I've got a lot to talk about, but I'm gonna jump to the last one, which is so many people ask me that, what is it like to be a Chinese in the US industry? For me, the biggest challenge is that being an Asian who was not born in the US, there's tons of restrictions for me regarding to my identity. I may get a role and not being able to play it because I don't have a green card or a citizenship. And I used to be upset about it, but then one day I just realized it is so easy to be a victim. I mean, isn't it convenient to just lean in to the negativity when things are going hard? I don't want to do the easy thing. What kind of stories do I want to tell my grandchildren that I was rejected because of my nationality and my skin color? And so I spent my whole youth whining about the cruel reality. No, I want to tell stories that inspire the next generation. 然后这里不得不提一句南开的校训，允公允能，日新月异. This is so much more than about me. This is not just a battle to fight for myself, but also for the dreams of all the other Chinese artists. And I want to be the Princess Mia or the Spider-Man or Simba to all the other Chinese artists who also have dreams like mine. And I remember what my mentor told me, that anything can be your advantage. Use it. So I have 2 choices. Let it defeat me or let it fuel me. And I choose to see it as a gift in my life. I am proud to be a Chinese, and I am proud to be a child of Nankai. And I am grateful for whatever the darkness and pain that I've been through, because they all transformed me into the person that I've always aspired to be. And I wouldn't want to trade that for anything else. And I know that to have a place of my own as a Chinese girl in the US artistic industry is a journey worth taking. Thank you very much.